A sage once arrived at the gates of a grand palace, holding out his begging bowl. With a calm yet commanding tone, he called out to the king, "Alms for the needy, grant me charity." The king, seated on his gilded throne, replied with pride, "No one leaves my doorstep empty-handed. Speak, what do you desire? Whatever you ask, it shall be yours." The sage nodded but added a caveat. "Your Majesty, hear my condition carefully before you make your promise. I have this humble bowl in my hand. Whatever you wish to give, place it in here. But there's one rule. You must fill the bowl completely. It cannot remain half-filled or empty. You may even put pebbles or dirt if you choose, but it must be full. Not one soul has ever succeeded in meeting this condition. If you accept, only then shall I take your alms." Hearing this, the king's ego was pricked. He laughed dismissively and said, "Are you a fool as well as a beggar? Do you think I, the king, cannot fill this trivial bowl? Ministers, bring the finest gems and jewels to fill this man's bowl." The sage stood silently, a faint smile playing on his lips. This was not an unfamiliar sight. Sages often chuckled at kings. Few rulers, however, understood the reason behind their laughter. The ministers poured heaps of diamonds, rubies, and pearls into the beggar's bowl. Yet, to their amazement, the treasures disappeared instantly. The bowl remained empty. The ministers were bewildered. The smug smile vanished from the king's face, replaced by disbelief, which only widened the sage's grin. Enraged, the king bellowed, "Even if it empties my entire treasury, this bowl will be filled. I will not let this mere beggar defeat me." More jewels were summoned, and the ministers tirelessly poured them into the bowl, but to no avail. The strange news spread like wildfire. Soon a massive crowd gathered in the royal court to witness the bizarre spectacle. The sage stood calmly, his faint smile unwavering. The king, meanwhile, clutched his head in despair. All the jewels were gone. The ministers rushed to bring gold and silver, dumping them into the mysterious bowl. But the outcome was the same. Everything disappeared in an instant. At last, the king's mighty treasury was empty. Desperate, he removed his bejeweled crown, his golden ring, and his royal necklace, throwing them into the bowl. Even that wasn't enough. Defeated and humiliated, the once proud king fell to his knees before the sage and said, "Forgive me, O wise one. I have failed to fulfill your condition. I admit my defeat. Before you leave, I beg you, reveal the secret of this bowl." The sage's smile deepened. In a soft voice, he said, "This bowl is made from the skull and desires of man. No matter how much wealth or material possessions you pour into it, it will never be satisfied. It is destined to remain empty." Friends, this tale doesn't end at a royal palace. It plays out every day in our lives. Each of us carries our own beggar's bowl, trying to fill it with wealth, success, or possessions. Yet it remains eternally unsatisfied. The beggar's bowl symbolizes the insatiable greed of the human mind. No matter how many comforts we amass, our desires only grow stronger. And one day life itself comes to an end, leaving the bowl empty. The person who understands the futility of ambition, greed, and unbridled desires is the one who truly lives and dies like a king.